Good morning. Welcome to the John Mendola Show here on WILK. We are driven by McCarthy Tire. Service located in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, Kingston, Hazleton, and Williamsport. Well, some interesting scores last night in high school football and a couple of close games and then some dominations by some other teams here in Northeast Pennsylvania. So got to take that all in last night. We happened to be at the Dallas and Coughlin game last evening. Now, today we're going to talk a lot of Coughlin football and the tradition of the Crusaders. So a bunch of former players and coaches with us. We will get you all the locations. You can pick up a copy of our football preview magazine. So we'll get you all those locations coming up here this hour. We got stories up for you all week long, so you can check them out. It is the JohnMendolaShow.com. But right now, let's talk Coughlin football, and we'll get with a bunch of former players and coaches in studio with us today. And why not start out with former head coach John Joseph with us this morning? And Coach Joe, great to see you. And I'm sure for you, reliving some memories with these guys was pretty fun last evening.
Oh, it sure was. It was a wonderful evening. It was. We're very sorry the team didn't make play to their ability last night, so they had a real rough start. But it was great seeing all the old players and all the old coaches, and very fortunate to be there.
Yeah, that's for sure. And we'll welcome in Nino Cinti right now, who kind of organized this whole thing. And Nino, welcome into the show for you. Talk about just getting this whole thing together and the idea where it came from.
Thanks for having us, John. It was kind of we were all sitting around one day, and everybody knows about the schools that are going to merge eventually. And we were sitting around after practice one day. I was kicking the idea around with my nephew and a couple other guys on the coaching staff, and we just, the joy of social media. I made a Facebook page, and within the first, say, 2-3 hours, we had like 35 guys respond saying they wanted to come.
Rekindling some of those relationships. Maybe you haven't seen some guys in some time. You got an opportunity to do that and talk about just some of those memories that you had with the Coughlin Football Program.
It was great, just reminiscing with the guys. And again, with everything being with social media, Facebook, Twitter, all that kind of stuff, you could kind of keep in touch from abroad. But to actually sit down and get together, it's last night was, granted, like I said, the game wasn't good, but then just meeting up with everybody after the game, it was a really, really good time. Just kind of reminiscing about the old days, and you'll hear from the other guys that are here about just what a great night it really was. So it was. I'm really happy everybody came out. It was a pleasant surprise. We had guys flying from all over the place, which was it was nice to see. It really was.
Oh well, great job organizing, Dino. We appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to get back over to Coach John Joseph and former coach, athletic director, educator. Coach Joe, let's talk about the guys we're going to be talking to shortly, Mike and Bill Monahan. Any memories of those fellas?
They were tremendous. We were very blessed to Coughlin. We had great athletes, great families, and they made us look like good coaches at times. It was just a wonderful experience last night. And again, I want to thank Nino and his group for getting this together, because it was just such a fantastic experience to relive some of the old times, the good times, the bad times, but it was great seeing everybody. It was really a thrill.
I think last night, as much as maybe the game didn't go the way everybody liked, there were a lot of good times and a lot of good stories there with the Coughlin Crusaders. Let's check in now with Mike Monahan, a former player at Coughlin, been an official forever. Mike, welcome into the show today.
Hey, thanks for having me, John.
Well, your memories back in the day of Coughlin football, and you guys had a really good era of football back when you played, and then some really good athletes.
Yes, we did. We had some good coaching too. We had started out with Bill Yeomans was my coach for my sophomore and junior year, and then J.P. Meck took over, and then coaching with him was Johnny Joseph, and we had Teddy Jackson. And numerous other coaches. I can't remember. It's been so long. But they all did a wonderful job. They built your character. They brought the best out of you. And it was really an enjoyable time in my life. And just to see other people that you played against on other teams. Football really is a community. It's just not Coughlin. It's the whole Wyoming Valley. We all represent each other. And there are a lot of fond memories.
And you guys had the connection, you and your brother. Talk about that connection on the field.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be that way. When I got to 10th grade, I was a running back, and they made me quarterback. And they got me mixed up with my brother. He was supposed to be the quarterback. So the only bad thing about that, I didn't get to play defense because they didn't want to get the quarterback hurt. But I would have loved to play that. But, hey, that's how it worked out. And yeah, we did connect on a couple touchdown passes. Terry Warren, he had a bunch of catches for touchdown passes. Cliffy Jones he's a former coach. He was our tight end. We had Terry Warren. We had Gary Phillips in the backfield. I want to shout out for Gary. His health isn't that good nowadays. We have our 40th reunion coming up, and we're thinking about him, and I just want to let his family know that our thoughts and our prayers are with him.
Yeah, Gary Phillips, one of the better athletes there at Coughlin High School. The whole Phillips family, really a tremendous group of athletes, that's for sure. We'll move over now and check in with Billy Monahan, who's joining us, and, of course, Mike's brother. And, Billy, some of those fond memories for you, we're going back and talking about fun times.
Yeah, John, thanks again for having us here. Like Mike said, we had some great coaching there. We had Coach Joe when he had hair. We had Coach Jackson and Coach Meck and Coach Bill Yeomans, who Mike and I ran into last year. And he's in great shape, and it's great always getting to these guys, just the stories that come with it, especially on the practice field with Murph, which I can't get into all. I can't get into all the stories.
Yeah, please don't. Please
on
don't.
the air, but it's just a great time when we do run into these guys like Coach Yeomans, Coach Joe, Coach Meck, and Coach Jackson, and all those guys we had in the past, and then also like with the games. So numerous to talk about. We were just talking about the one game where we weren't supposed to win, and it was the Lehman game, Lake Lehman game, and we were down by 60 yards, 70 yards away, and
We're down by 8.
Down by 8 points, and Mike got me the ball, and the time was running out, so I guess I accidentally dropped the ball. I cheated. And Terry Warren picked the ball up and was able to run 70 yards.
70 yards.
A touchdown, and then we came up with a pick play on the extra point to get out of there. And Coach Joe and Meck and Jack said, "Get on the bus, let's get out of here."
There was no overtime back then, so we got on the bus and we just
Coach
happy.
Joe, you remember that story?
Yes, I do.
He didn't teach us that. We just did that on our own.
And we showed that though to Coach Gorm.
Yeah, it was a
Because
learning
we went back
experience.
on Monday, the following day. He goes, "Show me that play you guys did on the previous Saturday." We had a scrimmage against Myers the next day.
I tell you, these guys are always innovative, the Monahan boys. They came up with things
what
that were
you
just
gotta do to win.
unpredictable, and they made us look, like I said, not to be redundant, good coaches, because they'd always find a way to win. So we were, again, very fortunate.
Yeah, some great pictures back in the day in the yearbook of these guys, Mike and Bill Monahan. Good memories for those guys. And again, we're talking different generations. We have some guys here from the 80s and the 90s, so we'll keep talking a little bit more, and we'll get back to some new guys and talk a little bit more Coughlin football here this hour, as it is the Coughlin football alumni weekend. They had a night last night, and they're continuing it today as we talk about the Crusaders. Well, we're going to tell you some locations you can pick up a copy of our football preview magazine. You can grab one at Marinacci's over there in Wyoming, Frank's Rocatch State Farm in Tunkhannock, Lex Pharmacy in Nicholson, Rooney's Equipment located up in Susquehanna County, Nicky's Hoagies in Clark Summit, Career in Uniform. They're located over on Kaiser Avenue. Michael Griffin State Farm. Want to thank our friends at Beston's Auto Body, the Gabriel family in Carbondale, the Carbondale YMCA, Scarfalatos in Honesdale, and John's General Store in Hawley. Also, Arthur Albini Funeral Home located there in the Valley View area. So thank you so much for joining us here on the John Mendola Show. We'll come back, talk more Crusaders football as we get a couple of other guys coming in, talking some old stories here and reliving the past a little bit. Let's head out now to our local State Farm insurance agent, Jen Ricky Loophole. Break like a good neighbor. Jen Ricky Loophole is there. We'll be back in WILK.